The National Operations Council for the Ratama Ekata National Operation, aimed at eradicating narcotics, convened for the first time today at the Presidential Secretariat. The meeting, chaired by President Ratama Ekata, was attended by ministers, commanders of the Trifold Forces, the Inspector General of Police, and other stakeholders. Condemning narcotics, rehabilitation of drug addicts, obtaining public support for the eradication of narcotics, raising public awareness, and the implementation of a media campaign were among the key areas discussed at the meeting.
There
is a widespread nexus between narcotics and narcotic-related crimes. This poses a severe threat that runs way deeper than it seems on the surface. The network between narcotics and related crime can be linked to many social catastrophes. For instance, the uptick in crime against women and children is also linked to narcotics. The surge in motor traffic accidents is also linked to the proliferation of narcotics. This is a complex social disaster. We are all collectively responsible to resolve this issue. The implementation of our efforts will cripple these narcotic networks. However, if we fail to sustain our efforts, the threat will be renewed through different means. So this operation should be perpetuated into the future. We believe that a multi-sector response is required to confront this threat. We need a procedure to apprehend the criminals and curb the proliferation of narcotics. We believe that a state-level initiative alone will not help us achieve this goal. This initiative has to win the public's attention. We also require a media campaign to enforce a strong social stance. Society at large has to be appraised on this matter from a scientific and medical perspective. The measures implemented through the police, security forces or the political authority alone cannot combat this threat. We are capable of eradicating this threat by sustaining this operation with the assistance of all stakeholders.
The 28th National Teachers Conference, organised by the Ceylon Teachers Service Union, was held at the Sugatadasa Indoor Stadium this morning under the theme Ratanagana Guru Paura. The event was presided over by President Ratama Ekata.
We have to start paying back our debt by 2028. Some deem it to be an impossible task considering our current trajectory. Well, that may be true if they were in power. However, we are in power now. We have systematically incorporated that goal into our agenda with the hope of building an economy capable of repaying debt by 2028. I acknowledge a disparity in teachers' pensions. For all those who retired before 2020, we promised to increase the pension payments to match salaries paid in 2020. Pension payments of retirees exiting the service after the 1st of January this year will be brought up to the salary scale implemented in 2027. However, a certain category of teachers were bestowed a special salary increment in 2022. That resulted in a disparity which must be resolved. We will resolve it, but we need a bit of time. We believe that teachers serving in rural schools must be entitled to higher allowances. We intend to increase those allowances through the next budget. The country demands a massive transformation in its education sector. Obtaining 13 years of school education should be mandatory. We will also focus on improving vocational education. We intend to build 25 vocational education centers across the country. Several legal reforms and amendments to existing acts have sparked controversy. Yes, a bill has been presented to Parliament. However, it has not been passed yet. Acts are passed in Parliament not for individual benefit. Laws are passed in the interest of the general public. I guarantee to you that a law opposed by the general public will never be passed in Parliament. The era of laws being passed on the whims of the ruling class is long past. History shows us how certain rulers passed constitutional amendments and even drafted entirely new constitutions to achieve individual ambitions. However, today, every law we pass is viewed through the people's perspective. The proliferation of narcotics is the biggest threat looming over all Sri Lankans, especially the young. In certain cases, teachers know that children bring narcotics to school. Despite teachers being aware as such, they might not take action since they know that the underworld sanctions the distribution of narcotics through school children. Teachers don't confront such students since they fear reprisal by underworld gangs. Adolescents have been ensnared by narcotics at an alarming rate. This has now become the most unfortunate tragedy of our society. These operations must come to an end. We have confronted the threats of narcotics and crime. However, the threat is more severe than we ever imagined. Criminals have infiltrated political authorities and even top law enforcement institutions. This government will not be deterred by these criminals. We will move forward with the intention of eradicating these threats. We will completely destroy these networks. I promise to you that we will implement every measure possible to eradicate these threats. We will definitely do it.
හැම පියවරක්ම ගන්න බව මම ඔබට සපත කරනවා. මේ කරනවා. කළ යුතුයි.